Yo, what is the deal? Welcome to another RaiderNation Unlimited. I'm your man, Wasted Talent, y'all. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to my dog, Can't Get Right. I mean, he's turning into the Boudini Brown of RaiderNation Unlimited, hyping me up. Shout out to the over 110 of you guys in the room. Get wasted with your brother, Wasted. Tell a friend and tell a friend. Share this thing out to all social media. We got a lot to talk about, right? We're coming off the bye week. We're going into a game against the Miami Dolphins, and it is a very, very strange feeling around Raider Nation because we kind of don't know how to feel about what's been going on this season, right? There are some of us who want the Raiders to continue to go on this downward spiral so that we can procure our quarterback of the future. There are others of us who have that never say die Raiders attitude, who want us to continue to try to build and win. And you know what's funny, man? Both schools of thought are ones that I cannot argue with. But before we get cooking, I have to pay some bills here. Shout out to BetUS. This stream is powered by BetUS, the fastest payouts in the industry. Get 150% bonus on your first deposit, and then 125% bonus on your next two deposits up to $2,000 using code YouTube150. Fast and easy deposit and withdrawal process. Listen, man, go over to BetUS and tell them Wasted Talent sent you. And that, my friends, is how you cut a promo. Now, listen, let me give my shout out to salutations, everybody in the room. Raider Rorschach is in a place to be, man. My guy Leaky Tiapo is in a place. Antonio Avila is in the place. Bushido Brown is in the place. Mad Mike is in the place. Indiana Raider, the great and powerful, is here. My guy AP is in the place, man. Been here since, man, for the longest, man. Shout out to my dog. Crispin is in here. Where the hell you been, Crispin? Where have you been? D Cooks is in here. Can't Get Right, the great and powerful. And my man, the one and only, creamed corn himself. He got measured for your pleasure. The great and powerful, Mr. Cold-Blooded. What's up with you, school? How about Diva Devontae and the mess with the Jets? There will be a turnaround with this new regime, with the Toms. Keep faith. Raiders, dog. Let me tell you something, man. I don't ever prey on people's downfall, right? Because I feel like when you prey on people's downfalls, the energy that you put out into the universe comes back to you and it transmutes into you failing, right? I'm a winner. So, right, I don't ever I just focus on me and what I got going on. I don't really focus on what nobody else got going on. But let me tell you something, man. Sometimes we all fall short of glory. And there's one guy that in the recent past, man, that has really gotten under my skin, has left this organization. And it is Davante Adams. And let me tell you something. I am going full Silky Johnson on Davante Adams. Player hater of the year. Yes, I wish all the bad things that can happen in life only happen to you, Davante Adams, and only you. Hate. Get the F out of here, Davante Adams, and I am glad that you only had 30-something yards receiving and 6 receptions, and you're losing it and slammed on your face like the diva jabroni you are. Get the F out of here and don't ever come back. F them. And I ain't want to start the show off talking about him, but let me tell you something, man. F that mother effer. F him. Mikey, what's up, man? Raider Primos is in the place. The fly and wonderful Yvette Niles is in the place, yo. I mean, it's a beautiful thing. So we got to get into it. We got a few things we got to get into today. My guy, Loso Raider becoming a member of the Wasted Talent Army. Y'all is down there in the chat. The best way to support the channel. We will be having some members only lives coming in the near future. Members only. I'm about to go find a members only jacket from the 80s, y'all. It is going to be splendiferous, everybody. But let's get rocking and rolling. Let's get to rocking and rolling, guys. Look, there's been a lot of things that have been going on, you know, in the off season right now, and there were a lot of things that came over into this season. There's a lot of negativity around the nation right now, and there's a story coming out of, you know, the Raiders camps, and it seems that it could be another mutiny on the horizon for the Raiders, man. Several players, including team captain Maxx Crosby, spoke openly in a team meeting Monday to address the inefficiencies and deficiencies that plague the organization on a week-to-week basis. This is reported by Jonathan Jones of CBS. Said the players were unhappy with the lack of organization, discipline, and accountability. They also believe that there was a lot of wasting time with the insufficient schedule. You know, this is coming off the heels of the Cincinnati Bengals taking the Raiders to the woodshed in week 9, and it kind of sent them into the bye week with beyond the sour taste in their mouth. This sent them into the bye week looking rudderless, dejected, and looking like coin flip, like one of the 2 to 3 worst teams in football. You know, and it's their 5th consecutive loss. You know, they're dropping to 2-7. And I'm going to be honest with you, with a record like this at the midpoint of the season, it does not look like the playoffs are likely or viable unless they run the table. They have not been eliminated yet, but let's just be realistic, right? And I want to be honest with you. There was a cleaning of house. You know, Luke Getsy, as we all know, was let go. The offensive line coach, James Craig, was also let go. And quarterbacks coach, Rich Scangarello, was let go. And that's probably not enough for these players in this locker room, man. You know, they witnessed the power that their team meetings yielded last year when they got Josh McDaniels ran out of here, man. And I'm going to be honest with you, man. They're saying that this meeting was nothing like the one that got McDaniels fired, but this meeting ended uncomfortable for all parties. And I'm going to be honest with you, when you start having meetings like this, and when you have a brain trust of the Raiders led by Maxx Crosby, who was also the one who championed the cause for Antonio Pierce being hired and Josh McDaniels being fired, I'm going to tell you something, man. This does not bode good for this particular roster. I mean, either which way, right? Because you have a situation where, you know, if the players get their way once again, and this decision is not made in a manner to where, you know, the organization's making it, that's bad, because you can't have players making personnel decisions. You can't have players running the whole roost. You cannot have the inmates running the asylum. I'm sorry. We speak on this every week, man. Owners own, GMs, players play, coaches coach. And if you don't have that kind of a balance with your organization, you have a bad organization, right? So this is nasty work, man. And I'm going to be honest with you. Ironically, man, these Raider players, man, they openly campaigned for Antonio Pierce. And the 5-4 record of last year is looking like smoke and mirrors. Devontae Adams was also one of those players who campaigned for Antonio Pierce. And you see he was on the first thing smoking, right? So now there's a devolution of the relationship between Antonio Pierce and these are players who were coached by John Gruden. These are players who were coached by Josh McDaniels, right? So if nothing else, John Gruden was not a good GM, but if nothing else, John Gruden has been a good and successful head coach in this league, right? If nothing else, Josh McDaniels is not a people guy. He is not a man that can move a group of men in the same direction, being the top of the organization. But the man knows football. The man knows structure. The man knows stability, because he came from the New England Patriots and they won a whole hell of a lot. I mean, it was almost too much structure, right? So you go from one extreme to the next, and now these players see that it's not cool to eat cereal 3 meals a day. These players are seeing it's not cool to have cake 3 meals a day. These players are seeing that you have to brush your teeth before bed and when you wake up, and they're seeing that, hey, you got to go to bed because if you stay up all night, it's not cool. The players are seeing that it's not cool to sit up and be able to play video games all day because then it becomes boring, right? These are all those things that you tell your children, right? The things that make you laugh, make you cry. And that's what's happening now. These guys are seeing it's not cool having your homie as the head coach. It's not cool. Nasty, busy, biz naive. Yo, I wanted to give a quick shout out to my brother, Taino Raider. You know, when we were down at Barre, Taino Raider made these chalice for us. It has the Taino symbol right here. Taino Raider is a great friend of Mount Shieldmore, bro. And I want to thank him from the bottom of my heart for making this. This is really, really dope. I am changing my studio around. You know, I am in my wife's office right now. I got books because my wife, writes and stuff like that. We got books and, it's a very feminine vibe in here, right? So I'm turning my spare room downstairs into my Raider studio, and right at the very forefront of that room, this will be put on display. I want to thank Taino Raider, man. He is a terrific human being, man. Love that guy, man. And he always supports us, man. Shout out to that brother, man. But yeah, man, my guy T Severe is in a place to be. Always bringing the smack, T Severe, my guy. Ironically, these players are complaining about lack of accountability a year after ousting JMD for holding them too accountable. Undoubtedly signs of a mental weakness on his roster. Yo, that is. Yo, T, man, look, I am never the person to put definites out there and absolutes out there, right? Do I think that's a huge character flaw? Yeah, I don't want to say that they're mentally weak. I think it might be more so a lack of maturity because these, like, bro, even though these guys are freaks of nature, these are big human beings, the 1%, these are still very relatively young men, bro. These are young men. These are men in their 20s, early 20s. They don't see the whole picture yet. You know, me as a man of a certain age, right? A man with a child that drives and is going to college, and you know what I'm saying? I've been there, done that. You know, my marriage predates some of these players' lives. So I have a different perspective than they do. And I don't expect for them to have the perspective of a man like me, right? But this is a learning experience for these guys, man. They got to understand that the things that are in place in football that have always been around, that structure, is something that athletes need, bro. A lot of athletes struggle with the mundane in life once they're done playing the game because their entire life has been structured around football. From grade school to high school to college to the National Football League. From the classroom to the football field, their lives have been pretty much structured. And what happens is, man, they don't understand how indoctrinated they're into that structure until it's no longer there. And that's why a lot of people, when they are no longer involved in a game of football, run into a lot of problems. A lot of problems, man. A lot of effing problems. It's a lot of questions. But yo, shout out to T Severe, man. That's dope, man. My brother, Brick City's very own, David Walker, man. Wasted. I'm getting sick of these coaches and players meetings. It's getting really old and it looks very, very dysfunctional. Listen, David, you know what's crazy? Good football teams have these player-only meetings too, right? But you know, the collateral damage from having these meetings when you're a bad team that's not winning is negativity comes out. These guys are not here to lose, bro. They're here to win. They're putting their body and their health on the line. Yeah, they're making millions of dollars and it's a kid's game, bro. But it's a kid's game with man consequences, right? These guys are making irreparable damage to their bodies, right? There are things that reverberate long past their playing days. There are choices that they're making every day on that field that is going to affect them into the rest of their life. It might even shorten their life, right? So nobody's going out there. That's why when people say that, you know, teams should like tank on purpose. The players, if you talk about tanking, players are not going to do that. But once again, David, if you have a problem inside the organization, it should be talked about, right? They should put it out on the table. They should try to fix it. 'Cause the only way you fix it is if you communicate. But there's a difference between communication and effective communication, right? How are these messages being conveyed? How is it being taken? Right? So for them to say that it's not being taken well back from the coaches, to be honest with you, they really should be the ones that are saying, wow, yo, we're not doing our job. Because, and I'm going to tell you why, and this is a little different than the way like Micah Parsons threw Mike McCarthy under the bus for the Dallas Cowboys. It's a little different here in our organization because you got a lot of coaches who are novice. And I'm not talking about, the Rob Ryans of the world. Rob Ryan is a savant. He's been in this game. He has forgotten more about this game than a lot of people. The problem is that we have people in spaces that they have not worked their way up to. Right? You have a guy who is really, to be honest with you, and I've been saying this, do I think Antonio Pierce is the worst coach in the world? No, I don't. Do I like Antonio Pierce? Yes. Do I want everything in the best possible for Antonio Pierce? Yeah. But the thing is that you can fool some of the people some of the time, but you can't fool all the people all of the time, bro. You can't fool people, bro. There is a lack of experience and it is looming large. And you have people in this building who have seen it done at a high level. You have people in this building who have done coaching at a high level. And you have people in this building who have they've played under other regimes and they know that there's a dereliction, there's something missing here. So that's really the real issue here. So when you start criticizing some of these assistant coaches, they are not the head coach, bro. They're not the ones who set the table. Do they know how it should be done? Yeah. Can Rob Ryan and could Marvin Lewis and these guys, and it offends me when people say that dumb guys are just collecting a check because they're coaching their asses off and they can be other places if they want to. They got the resume where they can go anywhere and coach, but they decided to be here with the Raiders. And for that, I give them a lot of freaking credit, man. Even Norv Turner coming out, look, did I want to see Norv Turner come into this building? No. And I'm going to tell you why. Because to me, I want innovation, right? I don't want to go back in time and try to make something that was once great again, right? That I think that is really what the biggest problem with the school of thought around the Raiders organization has been for all these years. We keep trying to reach back and we keep trying to rekindle something from before. We keep trying to recreate something from before. How about making something new and unique and great that can run alongside and walk in the footsteps of the greatness from the past? Telling you what, man. My guy, Dre, damn, didn't even know you were on, but I'm glad you are. Might as well post up a chill. Dre, you know you are always welcomed over here, man. You will get off my long gang royalty up in here, man. My guy, Mark Davis. Wait, so let me understand this a bit more. So should I fire AP? Okay, say less. After this season, he is gone. You can guarantee that. Thanks, Wasted, for your input. Damn, bro. Damn, what the F is going on here, Mark Davis? How you gonna put that on the shoulders of Wasted? It's not fair, bro. Come the F on, man. That is terrible. Trey Horrible. The F is going on here? My guy, Stephen Harbour. Shout out to my guy, Stephen Harbour, man, the new dad. There are too many cooks in the kitchen and not a real chef. Bro, there's always a lot of cooks in the kitchen in the NFL roster. There's a lot of assistant coaches, a lot of guys that hold positions, and guys are coaching their heart out. The problem is that you can have a bus full of competent people, a busload of them, right? But if the person that's driving the bus is not qualified to drive the bus will crash, bro. The bus will crash. Crash. I'm talking about freaking crash. You guys like that, right? That's a new sound effect right there. The bus will crash. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Hey guys, how does the sound effect sound? Is it loud? You let me know, man. Agreed. You have to move forward. If you were in a toxic relationship and you broke up with that person, would you run around and go back? Hell no. Same thing applies to the Raiders moving forward. My guy, I'm telling you right now, man. I'm telling you right now. Thank you, man. Appreciate you, bro. Dope ass comment, yo. My guy T Nipple, get the F out of here. You're muted. You about to be unceremoniously blocked, T Nipple. With your foolishness in here today. My guy, yo, East Coast gritted it and iron. Yo, if you're home, bro, I would like to have a discussion with you about some of the quarterback stuff, bro, because we're going to get into some draft stuff. Yo, the last, 20, 30 minutes of the show, bro, would you like to pull up, bro? Let me know. I'll send you the light. Hey, guys, y'all want to see Dante pull up from East Coast Gridiron, yo? We're going to talk about some quarterback stuff, man. Shout out to y'all, man. Can't get right. Always bringing that 100% GOAT comments. That's right, man. East Coast Gridiron don't do it. No, that's my guy, man. That's my dog, man. Yeah, everybody want to see East Coast up ahead, man. My guy, AC RaiderNation. We don't even know if we don't know AP's contract terms. We know Tom Telesco isn't married to him. As soon as Brady get the okay to be a part of football operations, the better. Bro, look, I think that's already going on. And this is one of the reasons why I don't know if Antonio Pierce makes it out of here. Like, there are a lot of people who are talking about, Mark Davis and, Hondo Carpenter had a piece on Mark Davis, and talking about what's going on here and how the Raiders are going to proceed forward. People talk about, Mark Davis not wanting this to be a dumpster fire. But if I'm being honest, I think there's a reason why AP's contract details were not let out. I think it's very easy for Mark to get out of this deal. I'm going to be honest with you, man. And this is the crazy thing, man. You have Joe Philbin coming in. He's a veteran. He's taking over the offensive line duties. I don't know how much that's really going to change the outcome of things, because there's a personnel issue. It's not just a coaching thing, bro. Like, this was the perfect storm in a shit storm, so to speak. It's a perfect storm, bro, because, you have a multitude of injuries. You have a lack of coaching prowess, right? You have disorganization. And then you have a situation where you're having mistake football. You have teams in this league who kind of got the memo on that, and now it's a perfect storm, right? It's a perfect storm. So I don't know how much Scott Turner and Norv Turner are going to help, and Joe Philbin are going to help, right? But what I do know is now the problem is out of the building, man. Getsy's gone, and I told everybody that, Antonio should have probably kept Getsy to throw him in front of him. But now everything falls squarely in Antonio Pierce. And it's the first week of the rest of his coaching career. I'm going to be real with you. The way this team looks from here on out is going to sign, seal, and deliver whether he's going to be here, right? If the offense continues to be helpless, if there are a lot of mistakes, if, the team continues to lose like this and we're one of the worst teams in the league, I cannot see him being there. Because the Raiders have to improve, bro. They have to improve next season. And I don't see that improvement coming at the foot of a guy who doesn't have the kind of coaching experience we would like, right? Let me scroll on down, man. Shout out to you. Shout out to my guy, Silver and Facts, for the $5 holler, man. I think Mark knew he was punting after last season. He hoped for the best, but knew Brady's influence was in the work, and Telesco will have his own vision. And that's a fact, bro. That is a fact, bro. That is a effing fact. That is a fact. Shout out to Silver and Facts, man. Thank you, man, for the $5 slapper, bro. Wasted. Al Davis in his heyday was innovative with his organization. When he said that the greatest of the Raiders was in his future, I believe he meant being innovative as well. And that, bro, innovation and success go hand in hand, my bro. That was another wasted gem for you. It goes hand and effing hand, man. Hand in hand. My guy McFly's in the place, man. You're wasted. Ever wonder who Telesco would have brought in as head coach if he had the final say last offseason instead? I'm going to be honest with you, bro. Yeah, I do. And it's like there are a lot of coaching guys out there there are a lot of assistants out there. Yo, Dante, I'm sending it through now, bro. I'm going to send it through now, brother. I'm going to send it through now. But, yo, look, there were a lot of NFL assistants, man, who could soon become head coaches that I think would probably be people that, Tom Telesco would be interested in. They're guys like Terrell Austin from the Steelers, Joe Brady from the Bills. Brady helped guide the historic LSU offense in 2019, man, as a coordinator. And he also served as an offensive coordinator for the Panthers and the Bills. And his offense continues to prosper in Buffalo, man. I mean, there's a lot of young guys out there. Liam Cohen from the Buccaneers, man, offensive coordinator who really was an assistant at the college and pro level. He was Sean McVay's offensive coordinator in 2022. And, that usually leads to bigger things, bro. When you work with a guy like a Sean McVay, when you work with a person like, Kyle Shanahan, that normally means that you wind up, getting jobs. And listen, there's another guy, man, that a lot of people don't like. It is, he's kind of got that bad mark on him. The only thing is he's a defensive guy. I would probably prefer an offensive guy, but Brian Flores, man. Now, the thing about Brian Flores is that, when he was in Miami, he seemed to have a little Josh McDaniel kind of a situation. He was a much better coach. He got better results. But I'm talking about from a personality standpoint, I guess, because it's a new generation. They can't really get coached hard like that, some of these guys, man. But Flores was Miami's head coach in 2019, I think 2019 to 2021. And he got a surprise pink slip, bro, because he exceeded expectations, which is crazy, man. And now he's helping to revive Minnesota's defense, man. And he's been doing a great job. That's a guy that I think Tom Telesco might have taken a look at. Chris Forrester. Now, Chris Forrester is exactly who I'm talking about when I talk about a guy coming from under a great coaching tree. Right now, Forrester has a long track record as an offensive line coach dating back to the mid-'90s, man. And he's one of Kyle Shanahan's most trusted assistants. And he's seeming of deserving of a bigger payday. He's not a young guy. He's an older gentleman, but maybe this might be his time to be a head coach in his son, man. Ben Johnson definitely is a guy that Tom Telesco would have tried to lure out. But, if Ben Johnson didn't get lured out last year, I think he wants to complete the mission in Detroit. But this year, this is definitely a guy. This is definitely a guy that people might take a look at, man. And also, man, Mike LaFleur, the younger brother of Packers head coach Matt LaFleur, man. Mike served as the offensive coordinator for the Jets and the Rams, and the success of his brother, along with, Sean McVay and all of the people that he's around, he's one of those young, innovative minds you might want to take a look at, man. I mean, there's a lot of these guys, man. I mean, Kellen Moore. I mean, there's a lot of guys, man. I personally feel like if you would have allowed Tom Telesco to hire who he wanted, he would have probably done that. Wasted, keep it real. AP is not experienced enough to lead this team and is playing with no heart. Facts. AP is out there and he had his chance. He failed to have major changes coming in. I won't be surprised if Deion came in. I don't see Deion Sanders coming in, man. I think Shedeur Sanders needs to kind of get up under the thumb of his old man and come on in here. My guy, McFly. Also, any updates on that film breakdown on college QBs y'all was talking about the other day? We need to settle this for real. Oh, yeah, we're going to talk about that, bro. We're going to talk about East Coast Gritted Than Iron is pulling up in a place pretty soon. I got to get through a few things before I pull my brother up, man. Wasted. Rourke and Dark are QBs I see us getting in the second round. If we outside the top three, with Sanders and Ward off the board. Yeah, those are two guys that I red circled. I would rather be Rourke than Dart. Dart is very physically talented, but there are a lot of holes in his game. I like Jackson Dart, but Rourke is the guy for me from Indiana, man. Shout out to Rourke, man. 5 more months before the NFL draft. It's too early to tell right now. It is, bro. It is. And we don't know what we're picking, right? So, guys, right, in other news, and this is something that we haven't had. There's been an update, after an extended absence due to a personal matter. Michael Mayer, the tight end and former second-round pick for the Raiders, is expected. He has an expected return date. Now, Mayer left the team following week 3, right, during the loss of the Carolina Panthers. And it's kind of seemed like, man, ever since Michael Mayer has left, man, who knew he was that damn important, bro? But this is confirmed by your boy Q on Locked On Raiders podcast. Shout out to your boy Q, right? He also added that Mayer's family reached out to the Raiders to notify them that Mayer was going through something and it has occurred in his life before. And the latest on his return is that, this is coming from Vinny B, on Saturday saying that Mayer is expected to be back next week, which we would assume means when the Raiders are out of their bye week, week 11, man. And Mayer's currently on a non-football illness list, but has served the minimum 4 games, so he's eligible to be activated in this coming week. And whether or not he plays remains to be seen. We don't know what kind of shape he's in, but it will be great to see him back with the team, back with meetings and stuff like that. I'm glad to get that kind of specter out there. And I also want to see what he has left and has he improved and is he better? Because look, let me tell you something, man. Michael Mayer adds another weapon to an offense that is starving for weapons, man. Starving for weapons, man. He's a pretty damn good blocker in the run game, man, and the Raiders are better off with him in the lineup no matter which way you slice it. Which matter which way you slice it, man. So shout out to Michael Mayer, man. My brother Don Samuel, man, with the $5 slapper. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you. Gerard Davenport. Mayer's a solid tight end. I think he may have been overshadowed by Bowers' level of talent. Yet it's having those two on the field can be great and help our offense. Excited to have him back. I am too, man. I'm excited to have him, Bryant back, all these tight ends, man. I mean, we are looking like the tight end capital of the world out this mother effer, man. The writing is on the wall with us drafting Shedeur. Even if it's pushed through, it's going to happen. Redbone, look, I want you guys to stop. Stop. Full stop here, bro. Full stop. Until we see how this draft order plays out, there is none of this hopium saying we definitely going to get somebody, bro. Because we did that shit with Jaden Daniels last year. We was talking, oh, he's in the locker room. AP coached him. He got a relationship with him. He's going to force his way here. He cool with Devontae Adams. And guess what? Don't matter. It don't effing matter, yo. Other teams are in the football business, too. They see how great Shedeur Sanders is, too, bro. And if we don't have the ability to draft him, bro, you best believe. Like, there's a lot of people that say he want to come to Vegas, and Deion's been saying that, right? But who's to say that the Giants don't have the number 1 pick? The Giants are in the football business, too. They need a quarterback. Deion wouldn't have no problem with his son going to New York. I don't think. Malik Neighbors is there. Andrew Thomas is there. They got some pieces there. I'm going to be honest with you, bro. I don't want to get into this whole Shedeur bust thing until we see how the draft plays out. And look, bro, I hope so. But guys, I don't want us to be disappointed no more, yo. I'm not doing this no more, yo. I'm not getting on here and getting the nation hyped up about a player that we have no bird rights on. And then this is the other piece of it. Tom Telesco goes his own way. So what happens when Tom Telesco goes and go draft the 6'5" quarterback out of Penn State? How would that make us all feel, bro? I'm not saying nothing to the draft day, man. I ain't saying jack. I ain't saying effing jack. The F is going on, man. Yo, my guy McFly, man, with the $10 special. I learned last season that despite the most perfect match with these players, nothing is guaranteed until whatever name they call come off the draft board and draft night. Hold tight. Brother, I'm telling you, that's how I feel. Like, bro, remember that year we wanted Jalen Carter? And we wound up with Tyree Wilson? He was there for us to pick. We ain't take him. Christian Gonzalez. It was 3 guys we could have taken that we needed. We took Tyree Wilson. Like, bro, I look, man, I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you right now, bro, I am not doing it, bro. I ain't doing it. And that's not different, bro. It's the same shit, man. This is completely different, bro. There are too many ties. Our record is worse. This could definitely be a Manning Rivers repeat, bro. We have a bunch of games left, bro. So what happens if now, we're coming off a bye week and the Raiders run off 2 or 3 wins? Now we're picking in the middle of the draft. Now how does that sound? You guys are just mailing it in. You thinking that the Raiders are definitely going to lose these games. They might not. You got new quarterback, new offensive coordinator, new, right? Michael Mayer coming back. They could win some games they probably not supposed to. How many years y'all been fans, bro? What about us winning the last game of the season and it taking us from the first pick to the fifth? Like, bro, I've seen this shit too many times with Raider fans. I'm not doing it, yo. You guys can go on there. I can't tell y'all how to Raider. I can't tell you how to Raider. I'm telling you how I'm choosing the Raider, bro. I'm not, look, bro. I'm not doing it. Can't do it, won't do it. I'm not what ifing, bro. I need tangibles, my brother. Tangibles. Torque Lewis. Wasted. Maxx Crosby gonna fuck around, have us picking 12th with these effing meetings. Probably. Man. Shout out to my dog, OGDA, man. Shout out to my guy, OGDA, man. I don't think OGDA know how to type in the chat, man. So when he texts me, I always read it on the air. He says, AP is like a first time in home ec class. He says, you are asked to cook with all the ingredients available. Then one day you come back to school and see the cabinet is broken. Wait, hold on, let me pull this up. He said the cabinet is broken and some other ingredients were stolen. Now you're asked to make the same meals without the ingredients. The issue with AP is he's a freshman in a senior class, has no idea how to make another dish. Wow. That was shout out to my brother OGDA, man. That was a fire ass analogy, bro. Shout out to you, my dog. Mary Rayner. We're going to win 3 more games, period. They might. And everybody says, Shador is made for Las Vegas. That's because we Raider fans. Shador is made for the bright lights. He made for the bright lights, bro. Look at the way the Dallas Cowboys without Dak Prescott look. The Cowboys could lose the rest of their games and be picking before. Like, bro, you don't know. Shout out to my brother OGDA in the place, man. Telling y'all right now, yo. We got a lot of bad teams, man. If Mark wants a number 1 QB, he going to have to make some moves. But see, it's not on Mark to do that. It's on our GM to do that. It's on Tom Telesco to do that. It's on the powers that be putting a mandate of greatness and say, go get our quarterback this effing year. That's what needs to happen. And I'm betting that directive is coming down. And if you also are looking to bet this football season, go over to Bet US. 150% bonus on your first deposit and 125% bonus on your next 2 deposits, up to $2,000 with code YouTube150. Shout out to Bet US. Going over to Bet US. Get your wagering out the effing way. Shout out to all of y'all. Y'all, look, I think it's time for me to bring my brother East Coast Gritter than Iron on. So we talking about Shador Sanders, right? I want to get, his view about, Shador Sanders. I want to get his view about Cam Ward and his game that he had this past weekend. You know what I'm saying? This is what we are doing right now. East Coast, my brother. Sent you the link, my brother. Pull on up, my brother. Dante is pulling up in the place to be. Let me get to some more of y'all comments, man. Wasted. I started watching more tape on Allah. With the right OC, he has uber potential. If Ward and Sanders are out of reach, he doesn't go back to Penn State. DeMarcus Webb, listen, Wasted, Ben told you. So when Drew Allar comes into this league and he's balling, I don't want to hear anyone saying that they were saying it first. I do not want the Christopher Columbus of draft evaluations, Graphic Raider, coming in here with his nonsense, his effing nonsense, trying to take credit for Drew Allar. Shout out to my dog, man. My guy, Louis Barrigan. Wasted. Do you think we need a coaching chain now? Regardless whether we pick number 1 or number 10, we need a coach that can handle the basics, and such as clock management. Bro, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. If you're telling me that there is an innovative young guy who is ready to take the reins and be head coach, he wants to come to the Raiders, and the Raiders have their eyes on him, They should not let Antonio Pierce stand in their way of doing that. This ain't the first time and the last time a coach was an interim coach that was made a head coach and did not do the best job. This is the Joe Bugel situation all over again. I'm going to be honest with you. Do I think Antonio Pierce might be able to coach his way out of this? There's a possibility. It's a distinct possibility. So Antonio Pierce is a great man. He's a galvanizing guy, right? But I think that he's lost his locker room. I think it's time to move on and turn the page. Now, if he turns it around, I'll be in his corner. But do I think it's likely? I don't. And guys, look, I want to bring you the great, the powerful, the savant himself. East Coast gritted it along. The great and powerful. My dog, East Coast, what it is, bro?
What up, man?
What it is, bro. I don't like the way this layout is looking. Bro.
I know. Your camera got you messed up, man.
Yeah, man, don't it? It's crazy, bro. Let me see. Because I did some other things here, man. Let me see how that looks. No, I don't like that. Well, that looks a little better to me, right? No, man, this is looking insane right now, bro. I don't like this. But it's okay, man. It is okay. It's all good, man.
We're here.
Definitely. We are definitely here, my brother. Wait, hold on. I'm just here. Dante's not here. Where's he at? There he is. Hold on. I'm going to do it again.
Uh-oh.
There we go. This looks effing terrible. Dante, what it is, brother?
Nothing, man. Been grinding some tape since like 3:00 this afternoon. So,
man,
kind of perfect that we're talking.
Yeah, man, that's what I was feeling. I was feeling. Yo, my guy Dark Marcus in the place, man. The Raiders need to rebuild the trenches. That's where the winning begins. If we miss out on the top 2 QBs, take the best offensive tackle available. Look, I have no problem as long as the person that they take in the first round is a check. Like having Brock Bowers, check, right? If you go get a left tackle and he's a guy that's going to be, if he plays at the level of a Brock Bowers, that's a check for me, right? But then you got to make sure that you either move back into the first round or you go in the second round and you take Curtis Rourke or somebody like that because you need some hopium in this building, bro. My guy, McFly, with the $5 special. Wasted. Don't forget, I was also telling you about Drew Allard since he started college. In fact, before he ever picked up a football. That's right. The McFly is a savant himself. So, Dante, man, we got to get into this, man, because we were having our differences of opinion on the last Graphic and Wasted show in the chat. Mm-hmm. You were saying that you don't think that Shedeur Sanders processes the field well. I vehemently disagree. And you don't think that he's the guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think he's a good quarterback. I don't think he's as great as what people are saying. And I feel the same way about Cam Ward. Like, grinding the film today, I finally got the film against Cincinnati. So as soon as that came through and the guy sent it, that was like 3:00. I watched every single snap.
Okay.
He was check down. And then he threw, I have this on Twitter. There's a clip of it. He threw a 10-yard hitch and it was cover 3 and the linebacker stayed stationary. He sent the guy in motion. That safety followed him. And literally I'm like, dude, throw the seam route. If your receiver beats him, throw the seam. It's a touchdown. No, he throws a 10-yard hitch to Travis. And that's how it was. It's like, if Travis is not open or it's something that's not blatantly obvious, he doesn't make NFL throws. And that's, I mean, when I evaluate, that's what I look for, right? Is he going to make an NFL throw or is he just good enough to be in college? And right now, he's just good enough to be a great college quarterback. I don't see NFL quarterback yet.
So, wow. So you don't see NFL quarterback yet with Shedeur?
Nope, I don't. And if that Nebraska film is like, it is night and day. I mean, he was having fits. I get his offensive line troubles, but the dude, he's not. I don't think he's ready. If he goes to the NFL, he's going to need to sit behind somebody for a year. And wow. Cam is the complete opposite. Has all the tools and makes the dumbest decisions. Like literally, there's a guy that and I had this clip on Twitter too. It was a bunch formation. It was 4th down. This is the 4th down against Cal.
Okay.
It was literally a spider 2 wide banana play. Arroyo goes to the right side of the field. All he had to do was notice that when he set the other guy in motion, the cornerback literally goes behind the DBs and everything on the wide receiver that he sent in motion. that wide receiver only needed to get a yard. He should have thrown it to him instead of the quick out to the tight end. Of course, it was late because the other safety was watching the tight end the whole time. I'm like, brother, this dude, like, I get that that's a quick play, but like whenever you coach quarterbacks and it's like that, if that corner's going all the way back, there's no way he's going to catch up to the guy that's running full speed in motion.
No,
like just throw the opposite ball. I don't know. I don't see it, man.
Cam, listen, I'm thinking about Cameron Ward. I'm sorry, Dante. Listen, am I saying that Shedeur Sanders is Peyton Manning? No. Am I saying that Shedeur Sanders is, even when Kyler Murray came out, right? Kyler Murray was one of the best prospects to come out of college football in a very long time. If he was 6'5", he'd probably be up there and compared to guys like Peyton Manning when he was coming out, right?
Yeah, but Kyler Murray was good in high school too. Shedeur was he was barely a 3-star recruit. I think he was only a 2-star recruit.
Yeah,
he was either
Kyler Murray is widely regarded, besides like Earl Campbell and a few other guys,
the best Texas player of all time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So this is what I'm saying. So am I saying that Shedeur is that? No. But am I saying that Shedeur Sanders is at the level of, to me, coming out a Tua Tagovailoa, higher than that? Yeah. Do I think he's a number 1 first-round quarterback? I think he is. Now, I know you probably would say, no, Tua was better.
I wouldn't touch him.
But
yeah, Tua was better.
Look,
I
like Shedeur. I like Shedeur. Am I totally and completely sold on Shedeur as the number 1 guy? I have a very wide viewpoint on this, man. I personally can see Shedeur Sanders here. I can see Drew LR here. I can see Rourke here. I can see Dart here. I just want the Raiders to draft a young quarterback until they get it right. And I think there are certain ways that you bring quarterbacks in and nurturing them. I think that has more to do with whether the kid's going to be successful or not than where he's drafted. It's more about, do you have the right coaches in the building, right? So I'm more so laser focused on what coaches we have in the building. That's first and foremost, right? What offensive coordinators in the building, head coach, offensive coordinator, quarterback coach, what kind of line and infrastructure, what kind of weapons they have for a quarterback. And then, look, there could be an amalgamation of different quarterbacks that you could bring in here and make this thing work. It doesn't have to be Shedeur, and it does not have to be Cameron Ward. It doesn't. Because it's many times we look at these drafts and the guys at the top of the draft do not wind up being the best quarterback in said draft. Look at Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
There were people drafted, there's a lot of people drafted before Patrick Mahomes, and he looms large as the great quarterback of this league right now. So, I don't know, man. My guy's Silver and Facts. You guys, we need a running back 1 big time. Who is worthy of a round 2 selection? I like Jukins. Who else? I like the kid from North Carolina. East Coast. What's that kid's name from University of North Carolina, running back?
First of all, just another DJ. He was a 3-star recruit coming out of high school. He was a 4-star recruit in the transfer portal. It's 2 totally different things. Yeah. But who do I like in the draft as far as running backs?
Yeah. Well, I'm asking you, what's the kid's name from the University of North Carolina?
Oh, Amarion Hampton.
Yo, I love that.
I've been waving the flag for him for 2 years.
That kid is a beast, bro. I like that kid. My guy. And yo, I forgot to do this, and I'm sad that I forgot to do this right at the top of the show. Let's send a shout out to all the vets out there. Shout out to all the veterans. I have a lot of buddies who serve. Shout out to my guy, Big Mike Raider.
Pretty much my whole
veteran of the Navy.
In the military.
My whole family. My father-in-law. Shout out to my father-in-law, 82nd Airborne. Shout out to like my a big mentor to me, my best friend's dad. Marine, Mr. Phillips. Shout out to you. You know what I mean? Shout out to everybody that's a vet out there. Shout out to my brother LV Maximus, all y'all, man. Shout out to all of the military vets out there that make it possible for us to talk football and do what we do, man. Shout out to y'all and what y'all did and the sacrifices you guys made serving our military. So let's get back to it, my brother. My guy, Justin Adi, Shedeur was a 4-star recruit coming out of high school. Yo, East Coast broke that down for you right there. He wasn't initially.
He was a 3-star. He was a 4-star in the transfer portal.
He wasn't initially, man. Yo, my guy, my opinion. We won't take a running back early. No how, no way. My opinion, you it all depends on how the draft board falls, right? So like if you get your quarterback in round 1, right? And it also depends on what the Raiders address in free agency too. My opinion, you can't just blanketly say that. So if the Raiders go out there and they go sign 2 or 3 linemen, right? And they've shored up, they've committed big money to their offensive line. You can't say that if they get their quarterback that they won't go and go get a running back if the running back is the best player available. So I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. There's a distinct possibility that happens, man. A distinct possibility. And yo, you could rebut, my brother. My opinion, you could rebut, bro. Yo, Torque Lewis, running back is so deep in this draft. I would rather a running back late day 2 or day 3, bro. We would all rather a running back late day 2 or day 3. But the reality is that you got to get the right guy whenever it is. Like all of these picks, and
I
where
think a lot of people are high on Ashton Genty, man. I mean, I had to watch more of his tape. I've watched 4 or 5 Boise State games. Maddox Madsen, their quarterback, is the real deal. This is his first year stepping in for Malachi Nelson, who came over from USC. He was supposed to be the guy, but Maddox Madsen came in and it's been otherworldly for them as far as offense. But he doesn't get the love because Ashton Genty gets all the – once he sets up everything, he busts a 15-yard run and then everybody's on his nuts. But that's just from
that's how people get on your nuts as a running back, right?
But Dylan Sampson, if you watch him play, he's literally carrying Tennessee. I can't say that about Ashton Genty. Ashton Genty's not carrying Boise State. They play as a complete unit. But Dylan Sampson is carrying Tennessee, and he's a NFL type running back. I'm not sure if anybody's seen him play, but that dude should be number 1 on everybody's running back board. But he's not going to get the love because of the numbers that Ashton Genty has. I'm not saying that he's a bad running back, but to me, there are more complete running backs in this class than Ashton Genty.
You are about to be unceremonious. Blocked! East Coast. What the F is wrong with you?
People don't watch Boise State, man. Like, let's be honest. 80% of the people here have never watched Ashton Genty play. They watch the scoreboard. But I'm telling you.
But respectfully, right?
Respectfully.
Respectfully. Sampson is a beast. And the thing is for me, right? If I'm drafting them, I'm going to take Sampson too, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you because of the level of competition.
The place, thank you.
The level of competition is like, look, Genty. The thing with Genty, and this is why I think a lot of people are on him, is because when you look at the film, it reminds you of somebody that's super great. He runs a lot like Barry Sanders. There's never been anybody I've seen that has looked like Barry at all, right? You know, you have Shady McCoy, you have Reggie Bust. Right? What did I just call him, Reggie Bust? The F is wrong with me.
He was a decent NFL player.
He was a good NFL player, bro. It's just that the hype, bro, he didn't live up to the hype, bro. There's very few people who ever live up to the hype, bro. In my life, bro, in all of sports, right? The only people I can remember really living up to and exceeding the hype in any sport is like Peyton Manning lived up to the hype, exceeded it. I don't know if he exceeded it, but he definitely lived up to the hype, right? LeBron James exceeded the hype.
Andrew Luck, short stint in the NFL, but he lived up to the hype.
To me, he did, and then he didn't because he had a short career. He didn't win anything, right? So did he really live up to the hype, right? But LeBron James lived up to the hype. You could say he's not as great as Jordan. People could talk about him and shit like that. But that fucking guy, bro, all of the pressure he had on him his whole life, bro, he exceeded the hype. LeBron, you can't take that away from him, bro. There's very, very few people. Shaquille O'Neal lived up to the hype. There's very few people who live up to the hype, bro. Reggie Bush just did. You know what I mean? He was good, but yeah.
I think with Andrew Luck, though, remember, his offensive line was ass cheeks. That's the reason that he retired. And a lot of people are like, well, you can't be a great quarterback unless you got an offensive line. Well, he exceeded expectations with a shitty offensive line until what's his name got in there and tried to fix it, and it was just way too late.
Yeah. So but really quick, let's get in my guy David Walker with the $2 slapper, bro. My guy Kyle Managi from Managi. That's Dave. I see Kyle being a 3rd or 4th round guy. I think he could be successful.
not.
Rutgers has some
He's not
talent.
going to go that high.
He's not even going to go that high, right? But Dave Walker, that right there is Jersey ass comment right there, bro. Because we are such homers, bro. Shout out to my guy Dave, yo. Yo, you know what I'm saying? That's our Jersey bias sticking out there right there. But nah, yo, I like Monagai, man. I like him. Fourth round, East Coast. I could see him going in the fourth, bro.
I don't see him going in the fourth either.
For a running back needy team, I mean, where do you have him ranked on your running back? I have him as a top 10 back.
He's had his injury history is so long. Like he's battling injuries right now.
Yeah, I know.
In my running back list, ooh.
Because I'm saying if there's a run on running backs, right, in the two previous rounds, right, because I think there's a resurgence, and I think people are going to get very surprised by how many running backs go earlier than they used to. Because listen, and they need to thank Saquon Barkley and Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry and Saquon Barkley is they have revamped and revitalized the importance of that position, bro. They really have. And I think this is a copycat league. Just like everybody used to draft running backs early and then they got off of it because they thought they can do this running back by committee thing. They can have anybody running the ball like how Denver did. I think there's going to be a resurgence on the value of the running back this year. And if running backs go early, I can see him maybe moving up to the fourth round or fifth round.
Yeah, I don't see Monagai even going that high because RJ Harvey's better than him from UCF. Caleb Johnson's better than him. Taj Brooks is better than him. Dylan Sampson or Marion Hampton. Cam Scatterboo. Who's the kid from Clemson? Phil Moffa's better than him.
So
Jordan James from Oregon.
Top 10 back, right?
No, I could keep going.
Top 10 back of the guys that are definitely coming out this year.
Yes, he's not top 10.
What do you got him like 15?
I'm trying to think of all the names right now. Yeah, Jordan James from Oregon's better than him. Bashel Tutton, I don't know if he's coming out for Virginia Tech. I think he's better. Mario Anderson from Memphis.
Now you tripping, bro, because some of these guys aren't coming out East Coast.
Yeah, they are.
Some of them are not. A lot of these guys are juniors you naming, bro.
Most of these guys are going to come out. I'm telling you. They've already said that they're probably going to come out.
So you because
like
juniors?
For example, like Jordan James. The next guy in line is Noah Whittington, and then the two other guys that transferred there that were freshmen. So like,
see, this transfer portal has me messed up, bro, because it's like before there was that succession, right? And you had situations where, like, give a big example, like the University of Texas, right? One of the big reasons that Adrian Peterson didn't go to the University of Texas, because it was a foregone conclusion he was going to the University of Texas, is that Mac Brown told him that, listen, we are loyal to Cedric Benson. Cedric Benson will be the starter next year. Yeah. He said, you know what? I'm going to Oklahoma. He went and tore the record books up. And Cedric Benson was a beast, right? But I'm saying,
yeah, rest in peace.
Rest in peace, right? But this the thing, right? With this transfer portal, it gets spooky. And it's like once you have that ball and you're running and you have a decent season, you got to like strike while the iron is hot and go get your money in the NFL, because that transfer portal could get spooky for you. They can go out there and the kid can come in and take your job like NFL free agency, bro.
Well, so and then they go into the transfer portal and they also do depth, right? Like Mekhi Hughes has been at Tulane for a while, and remember Tajay Spears was there, and now he's starting to get his shine. I think he's top 5 in rushing yards right now. Not saying that he wasn't good, but like definitely Mekhi Hughes had forced him to go out because Tajay Spears had one more year of eligibility, and he was like, Mekhi Hughes being their coach was like, yeah, might as well go get your money, bro, because you and Mekhi are going to be splitting carries next year. And that the same thing, I see Nate Noel on that list. That's one of my favorite running backs. But Nate Noel and Marcus Carroll transferred in. Let's say Nate Noel came from Appalachian State, Marcus Carroll came from Georgia State, and they came to Mizzou together, and they're splitting carries.
That's crazy.
Nate Noel's hurt right now, so it's the Marcus Carroll show. But like that's the thing that you got to think about with these running backs too. Low shelf life. They're not going to stay as long as probably a wide receiver or quarterback right now, and guys are going to transfer portal and forcing guys out. Unless you're like a Taj Brooks that's been averaging like 115 yards a game this season.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you definitely have to be a legend in your own right to not get replaced. But I mean, like DJ Giddens from Kansas State wasn't supposed to be the guy, the number one guy, and he is. So
all right, Dante, let's get back to the ranch here, right? Because we're shooting all over the place like a wayward X-rated star, man. What the F is going on here? Let's get back. All right, Dante, really quickly. Now let's go back to the quarterback thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
What did you see this week from Cameron Ward? And where, if you were the Raiders and you're picking in the top 3, would you select him? Shout out to my guy David Zahn in the place. My brother David Zahn is in the effing place. LV Maximus, aka LV Maximus, is in the place. Yo, get wasted with your brother. Wasted. Tell a friend to tell a friend. And guys, remember, it is over 500 of you in the room. This has been a most splendiferous occasion, yo. This stream has been powered by BetUS. Get 150% bonus on your first deposit and then 125% on your next 2 deposits up to $2,000 using YouTube code 150. Guys, going over to BetUS, and this stream has been powered by BetUS, whether Dante says so or not. So listen,
hey, I got my bets on BetUS for this week, so
that's right. That's right. Dante, you should take Harold Perkins Jr. I'm aware of Torre ATL. He might stay another year at LSU, but if he's here in the second round or third round, would you take a flyer on him? You jump in the line, Jenny Castillo. He wants to talk about quarterbacks. What the F is wrong with you?
I'll give you my quick answer. I'm not going to get into a lot of Harold Perkins. Harold Perkins is awesome. He just needs to stay healthy. He's definitely one of them ones when he's healthy. So yeah, I mean, if you're okay with his injury history, then draft him. If you're not, then stay away from him. I mean, that's the simple answer. But Cam Ward this week against Georgia Tech and I picked Georgia Tech to win this game. And one thing that I knew about Georgia Tech from watching them earlier this year against Florida State, and all the rest of the teams that they played, is if you're going to beat them, you got to beat them with your defense. Miami didn't beat them with their defense, but getting over to Cam Ward's side is like, if you let them come back on offense and start to get momentum, and Brent Key's going to run that 2 quarterback system like he has been, then you're screwed. And the thing that Cam Ward couldn't do is what he's been doing all season against very athletic linebackers down there in Georgia Tech. Those guys fly around the field and they play coverage really, really well. Cam Ward's motto has always been, since Washington State, we are going to design everything around me being able to throw slant routes. They shut that shit down. And not only did they shut it down, they were bringing at least one guy blitzing the whole time too to make him uncomfortable. And Cam Ward and this is what I was arguing with you about. The dude does not make pre-snap adjustments, because if I have a Mike backer, right?
Whoa! I said that Shedeur Sanders makes good pre-snap reads.
No, you said Cam Ward.
Bro,
I remember, brother.
It was probably a Freudian slip, bro. It was probably It was a Freudian slip. A lot of times, man, because them coming up together, I get them mixed up when I'm talking sometimes. And you know me, East Coast, I don't have a lot of stuff pulled up in front of me. Lot of, you know what I mean, my evaluations and the things I remember. I just remember.
All good. I think they're both anemic at doing it, but that's just my opinion.
I don't think that Shedeur is, though, bro.
Shedeur's not as bad as Cam Ward, but he's okay at doing it. But I wouldn't say that he's the best, because why does he get sacked all the time? This dude against Nebraska literally took one of the worst sacks I've ever seen a quarterback take this year. Literally, he stood there and let the guy run into him.
Pause, bro. You got to chill, man. This is a family show. You can't talk about men taking sacks on my show, man. You got to stop, man.
Bro, it's part of
the game. No, but in the same token, though, bro, I think that Sanders, and like Sweet Jazz just said, Sanders is doing it with a lot less talent.
Stop the excuses, brother. He brought in like what was it? 42 transfers that were damn near all 4 stars. What you mean? Stop that. You can't use that excuse anymore. Nope. He just doesn't make adjustments. That just is what it is. He has talent around him. He has a 5-star left tackle.
He does, right? Because I forgot all of the revamping that they did to that roster this year, right?
But every single wide receiver on that team is awesome, all of them.
Yo, my guy just a DJ. He said, "Stop it, Dante. It can be coached out of him." Let me tell you something, just
This is
DJ.
the dude that said Shador was a 4-star. He's a 3-star, sir.
Let me tell you something, man. They said it could be coached out of him. That's what she said. Oh, bang, zoom, bang, zoom.
Boom. Damn.
Bang, zoom. LV Maximus, you already know. The mental Rolodex is insane. The mental Rolodex is insane, yo. What the F is going on with the chat here? It's not allowing me to take it at this thing. I think my computer is tripping, bro. But yeah, but no. So basically, let's be for real. Shout out to my brother LV Maximus, man. So from if say for instance your Tom Telesco, Raiders are picking number 1 and 2. Are you taking either one of these guys?
No, and the thing is, this is what I'll ask you, Wasted. If you're Tom Telesco, what has been Shador's best win of his career?
Man, I think this Texas Tech win, right?
The Texas Tech win?
Because it's hard to tell. I mean, maybe last year.
If Texas Tech is your best win as a quarterback, you're not that great.
Okay. Now let me think. The last year, didn't they beat Texas last year, or early this season they beat Texas, right?
Who beat Texas?
Colorado. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, I'm trying to remember. Yo, it was in Texas. Wait, do it. Colorado, man.
Colorado beat North Dakota. They beat Baylor. They beat Colorado State. They beat Cincinnati. And they just beat Texas Tech.
Last year. They had a big win last year, man.
Last year's big win was TCU just because they came off of a national championship. But then they still, like, TCU was ass after last year because people didn't realize that they lost like 15 people to the draft and graduation.
So it was TCU.
They didn't beat Kansas State. Uh-oh. All right, well, Chad, I guess I'm here for you to take your questions. Oh, okay, there we go. He's back. He's back.
I'm back.
I was trying to hold it down for the couple seconds, man.
I'm back. Yeah, so all right, so I'm thinking TCU. Look, listen, the mental Rolodex is failing me today, right? They didn't beat Texas, right? So I guess it is Texas Tech, right?
And even at Jackson State, they had the chance to be. They lost against, what was it, South Carolina State, and they were like a 5-win team. And then they were supposed to be North Carolina Central, who's technically better than them. My dad was at that game, and they lost that one too. So Shador has never really beat anybody, but maybe FAMU is his best win.
Dante, you are, bro. Dante, get the F out of here, man. I'm just
asking you, dude.
Bro, you are like Raider acid rain. We get hyped up about somebody, and you come in here, rain on our effing parade. Wow. F is wrong with you, Dante.
I'm giving you logic, man. They got their ass kicked against Nebraska, and Nebraska is just an okay team. Like, you can't call yourself a great quarterback, and you can't beat like half decent schools. And same thing with Cam. Cam has not beat a ranked school this year. But how is he number 1? How did he have so many close games against Virginia Tech and Cal and let Florida State? How did they let Florida State come and put 14 on them? He struggled against them in the second half.
I don't hear all this logic stuff. We love Shador. Yo, my guy.
I'm just.
No, I know.
Say I'm hating, but I'm just asking.
I respect it.
If I'm Tom Telesco, I'm like, who did you win against?
Yo, I respect it, right? Hold on. My guy, LS the Damager. Dante, what do you think of Garrett Nussmeier or Curtis Rourke? Sorry, it's been covered, Wasted. No, it's all good, bro. It's all good, man. Look, you know how I feel about Curtis Rourke. Like, if I'm the Raiders, right, and it depends on where I'm taking. If I'm picking number 1, you kind of almost have to take a quarterback in a sense, right? There has been no one that just jumped out at me that besides Travis Hunter. I can see the Raiders taking a Travis Hunter and then going. And that's if you're going to put him at defensive back, right? I don't see him playing both sides of the football in the National Football League. I think he's an infinitely better defensive back than a wide receiver, right?
Well, they're going to want to try to squeeze all the juice, pause, if necessary. But
what is going on here, man?
They're going to try to squeeze all the talent out of that kid. They're not going to make him play. They're not going to allow him to play both ways.
Yeah,
I don't see that. So, but Curtis Rourke, he's number one to me right now. He's number one. And Garrett Nussmeier needs to stay one more year. Drew Lar, from what I'm hearing, Drew Lar is not happy at Penn State because of the way that they don't recruit wide receivers. And Will Howard's leaving next year. And Julian Sand just came in for Ohio State and looked like ass. He's from Ohio. If he enters the transfer portal, Ohio State's going to grab him.
Yeah, and Drew
If
Lar.
I was Drew, I'd be like, there's no way that I'm skipping on not only staying home, coming back home, but playing for a program they recruit the fuck out of wide receivers. That's what they do.
So you know what'll happen? He would be the reverse of Joe Burrow. He would go to Ohio State as opposed to Joe Burrow leaving and going to LSU and just becoming the number one pick. He'd be the number one pick, pillar to post next year if he went to Ohio State. They might win a national title next year, bro.
I'm doing a breakdown on Kurdish work here soon. And this is what I'll tell you guys. Like with Shador and Cam, if you're in the NFL, you got to utilize not only the front side throws, but your backside throws as much as possible. Like you have to find an open guy because you know this way. So the room for error is this small.
Yes.
And Kurdish Work makes NFL type throws.
I love Curtis. Curtis Rourke is my favorite quarterback, right? The thing about it is that when you start talking about, when you really, really look into it, right? I personally feel like the Raiders aren't going to have the number one pick in the draft. I think the Raiders are probably going to be picking like fourth or fifth.
I don't think Kurdish Work's going to be number one over. I think he's going to be if he might be chosen in the second round.
And this is what I'm saying. So I think the Raiders are probably going to be relegated to a situation where they go best player available and they go quarterback second round or move back into the first, right?
Yeah.
I think that's what we're dealing with here. I don't think that Shador Sanders is definitely coming to the Raiders. I think
y'all know what happened with Kurdish Work, right? 2 weeks ago, he effed up his throwing thumb. He had surgery the next week. Then Kirk Cignetti, the coach, said he's out indefinitely. Then he came back the next week and threw 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, and this is the thing.
They're undefeated.
and this is the thing, too. You got to look at who Kurdish Rourke's offensive coordinator is. Mike Shanahan. Mm-hmm. And let me tell you something. I would love to get a coach from the Shanahan tree, whether we decide to keep Antonio Pierce and give him grace and give him an offensive coordinator, or if we hire one of those guys as the head coach. Bobby Slovic is a Shanahan disciple, right? So I would love to see a Kurdish Rourke come in here with some of the same terminology and looks and come in and hit the ground running from a second round perspective, like kind of similar to the way that we procured Derek Carr, right? Now, I know Raider Nation is in a ravenous state and we want a quarterback number one and all of that. But to me, it's about doing what's best for the organization. If you can get a blue chip talent, a slam dunk, starter, all pro kind of guy, no matter how you get him, no matter what side of the ball you pick him on, if you feel like, the 2 quarterbacks you want are not the guys that line up with your expectations and you take a Rourke, to me, that's the best thing, man.
And I'll tell you this too. If you want something to sell you on Kurdish Rourke, if you're looking at stats and things, and I'm not a big box score watcher, but I'm just telling you the facts. Kurdish Rourke was hurt last year. And the year before that, he played at Ohio University, which is a group of 5 school. Kirk Cignetti came over from James Madison. So, yeah, Mike Shanahan might be his offensive coordinator, but this is his first year, and these dudes are 9-0 and undefeated. And he's playing with guys that he doesn't have a relationship with, like Miles Price from Texas Tech. Omar Cooper was there last year at Indiana. The only person that's on that wide receiver core that came over from James Madison was Elijah Surratt, and he's damn near, I think he's like number 2 in receiving yards. But if you look at all the receiving touchdowns, everybody's eating. Every single one of them.
He spreads the ball around, bro. He spreads the ball around.
And Shador relies on Travis Hunter and Shepard and the other kid out there way too much. And then you have Cam Ward, who's got the best receiver core out of both of those guys. So it's like, if you want a guy that doesn't make excuses for himself, that came back from injury not only last year but this year, has got God knows who on their offense, he's the guy, man, because he's going to be able to adapt to any situation, and he's Canadian.
Dante, you got to chill. You got to chill. Because what you're going to do is, listen, people watch this show. Curtis Rourke is 6'5", 231. He is a Tom Telesco guy.
And his brother played in the NFL.
Look. I'm telling you right now, Shador and everything, I think the Raiders are going to win a couple of games. I don't think we're going to have the number one pick. I really think that Curtis Rourke would be the guy, right? To be honest with you, because that's a Tom Telesco kind of guy. You got to chill because you are going to talk him into being a first-round pick and you're going to screw the Raiders.
But here's the thing, too. Wasted is like everybody wants to talk about the top quarterbacks and everything. The brunt of everybody's season just started like 2 weeks ago. And this is how it always is in college football. The playoffs can make or break who the number one pick is. Because last year's number one pick was supposed to be the edge rush or it was an edge rusher or something last year, and he wasn't even remotely chosen in the first round. And then now this year it's Shador and Travis. But if they got to go against Utah next week, who's got one of the best defenses in college football.
Yeah, and listen, it's a.
And they just took a heartbreaking loss against BYU too. You don't think they're going to be gunning for them next week?
East Coast gritted with the smack as usual. David Walker with the $5 special. Wasted. Honestly, I feel whoever the OC head coach is next year, I think will decide what QB we draft. Yeah, David Walker, that's 100%, bro. That's 100% because everybody's got to be on the same sheet of music, right? So when you're developing this guy, they're all sitting down. This is not a situation where, it's not it's not a groupthink mentality. I think, previous iterations of the Raiders is, having that lone wolf, lone hero kind of be the guy that makes the decisions is a bad way to go about business. Now, I'm not saying that there shouldn't be someone with a definitive kind of stamp, but I think that whomever makes that decision needs to bring all the people who are going to be involved in developing this kid together. And they all need to be looking and pointing in the same direction as to how they're going to do it, what they feel the strengths of this kid is. I don't want it to be a situation where, like, give an example. Brian Flores rightly wanted. He wanted Justin Herbert. That is who Brian Flores wanted. The ownership did not. Case closed. He had Tua. It didn't work out. He got fired because of it. And I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Like I always say, and my man AP said it the best, man. Like Wasted says, this thing is fluid. Pause if necessary. The F out of here. But look, I'm gonna tell you something, man. This situation is fluid, man. It really is, and it has everything to do. Getting back to my guy, David Walker. Thank you for the $5 special as well. Keeping the lights on here at RaiderNation Unlimited. This is a situation where you have to have everybody in the same sheet of music. You can't draft this kid and then bring somebody in and be like, all right, now go coach him. Yeah, that doesn't how it works. Hey, yo, shout out to the family and friends of the great John Robinson, former coach of USC, former coach of the Rams. He died of a complication from pneumonia. He was 89 years old, man.
Oh, man.
Shout out to him, man. Shout out to him. Man. Rock on.
And we just had a Mississippi Valley linebacker. I forget the kid's name. My apologies to the family, but he died in a car crash today. So football community has lost a young kid out playing for HBCU school right now.
It's terrible, man. It's terrible. Yo, some people are saying that Travis Hunter is the best player regardless of position in this draft. Listen, man. Travis Hunter is one of the guys in this draft that is one of my favorites, man. But I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. There's a couple of guys that did this draft, man, is loaded with players, man. This draft is loaded with players, man, and I'm telling you right now, guys.
This is the best draft that we've had in a long time, and I don't know how else to explain it to people. This is the most depth we've ever had in a draft in probably the last 10 years. This draft is absolutely loaded, and it's not going to be at the top of everybody's list because the quarterback prospects are not as high as last year, but that does not diminish the fact that a team could rebuild themselves. Like you guys right now, you guys going to get the right quarterback and maybe the right running back and maybe a defensive lineman and whatever else that you need. This is the draft to do it. Like there's a kid out of Eastern Carolina right now playing cornerback. I forget that kid's name, but like he's hurt right now. but he's one of the best cornerbacks, and he's going to come out and make a team really happy if he comes back healthy enough to play. It's a lot of depth in this draft.
Bro, I'm going to be honest with you, too. You know who's one of my favorite players in this draft is Abdul Carter out of Penn State, man. Abdul Carter, he is a beast, man. I love that kid.
Yeah, he is. And I mean, he's a beast. I just sometimes when I watch him, I'm like, man, are you just a pure edge rusher? Because we have a lot of pure edge rushers in this class, like Nick Scorton out of Texas A&M, who's just as beastly, but plays for Texas A&M. Then you have the kid out
so
of
you saying that
South
playing
Carolina.
at Penn State? You act like he's playing fucking. He's playing for Penn State, bro. It's the Nittany Lions, bro. Don't.
Yeah, but Texas A&M upsets teams because of how good their depth is, and Penn State loses to the same teams over and over again, and those guys don't show up.
You get the F out of here with your nonsense, Dante. Get the F out of here with that. Yo, my guy Rico's World with the $2 smacker. If Bama wins the title, does Milroe go before Shador? No. There's no metric where I see Jalen Milroe going before Shador Sanders, and I'm not a big fan of Milroe. I'm going to be honest with you. That's just me, but Dante is probably going to say yes, but I don't agree. And my brother, A. Spivey, the great and powerful Shieldmore, Kevin Nash, gifting 5 RaiderNation Unlimited memberships, man. Appreciate you, my brother. Appreciate you. Dante, before we get out of here, right, I want to get off of some of this college stuff, right?
Yeah.
What do you think about what was being reported about the Raiders kind of having a team meeting and some of the details of that coming out of the Raiders locker room? Before we go, man, like what do you think, man?
Just with all the drama that surrounded us the last week and a half of coming out to your camp?
Yeah, man. It seems like we got another mutiny. Several Raiders players, including Maxx Crosby, spoke openly in the team meeting on Monday to address, some of the deficiencies and the inefficiencies of this offense and has plagued this team throughout the season, man. And it looks like they're kind of laying the framework and the foundation to get AP out of here, to me. And these are the same guys who wanted him here. So what say you about this, my brother?
I think that your team is going to look completely different, man. And I've said from the beginning, when you guys had Luke Getsy on your team, I said this to Graf the other night when I was on with Graf and Stu. And Stu was shaking his head. He was like, yeah, I totally agree with this. I think Luke Getsy was one of those guys that would never take his players' opinions about anything, and it was his show. Now, you understand that when you fire somebody like him, you fire the quarterback's coach, and now you got a little bit of mutiny amongst the locker room. You bring, North Turner in. Like, things are going to have to change. They are. You're going to have to start taking your players' opinions and seeing what works. Because right now, AP's standing in a burning building with the smallest fire extinguisher of all time and has to get the hell out of there, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what this is. Because Mark Davis doesn't want to seem like the idiot that was like, oh, man, I listen to my players. And, I trusted Max and I trusted Devontae was here. And I felt like this was going to be a good culture shift for our team. And now you look and you say, like, okay, well, maybe he should have saw the writing on the wall where, his linebacking core was, I don't know if everybody knows this, but his linebacking core went to Jaden Daniels' locker when he entered the transfer portal and destroyed it because they were pissed. And then and that he entered the transfer. So it's like, does he keep a good culture? Is he good enough to be a head coach? Maybe not. Maybe he's got to go through the ranks with everybody else. And you're starting to see that from every single coordinator that comes in and goes through those hurdles, being on bad teams, then being on good teams, then being the reason why their teams win, and then they go and be, a decent head coach somewhere else. So, the fact that they're all speaking up, I think right now is with all the firing, I think just the whole culture is opened up to say we all have to address and keep each other accountable now, because we got the guy that didn't want to hold, held us accountable, but never wanted to take our opinions. He's out of here. So it's kind of one of those, it's trial by fire, right? It's like at our own jobs. Like, if we keep failing on a project over and over and over again, it's not just get rid of everybody. You're going to get rid of leadership first.
Yeah.
And then you're going to ask your employees, what do you think was the biggest reason why we didn't get to where we need to get to?
Attitude reflects leadership. And one of the hardest things to do in life is to to lead a group of adults in the same direction. It's very, very hard. You can be the most knowledgeable coach in the world, right? But if you don't have, what it takes to make people follow you, it's very, very difficult. Now, to me, right, I think Tom Telesco is the eraser to Mark Davis. Tom Telesco is the guy who is going to look like the bad guy, because now he has a real competent GM. Now he doesn't have a coach with final cut, so now it's the GM wanted to get rid of him, and the owner is allowing him to do his job. It reminds me of similar to with Joe Douglas with the Jets, when the previous coach, the Robert Saleh, was fired. It reminds me of that a whole hell of a lot, right? So looking at this, right, and before we get out of here, man, and shout out to my guy A Spivey again, man. Shout out to him. Redbone, real quick. I'm hoping we make a move at I'm cool. I don't want any more free agent wide receivers with big names that want big contracts. I want us to draft our quarterback, draft our receivers, and build everything organically. And then once we get there and we have our quarterback in place, then you have the infrastructure to bring in a free agent wide receiver, because you got somebody that can get him the ball. I don't want somebody that's going to stunt the growth of our young quarterback, man. I'm going to be honest with you, man. You know what I'm saying? Real quickly, man. Team meetings are what losing teams do. Judo Joe Black, all teams have team meetings, bro.
They meet every single day, 3 days a week.
Yeah, they meet every single day, bro. The thing is that when you have a bad football team and there's negativity sells. It sells papers. It gets people engaged, right? And a lot of times when there is a negative situation or is an article with a negative connotation, right, that is the spirit that they're going to write it from. The team is doing bad, right? This could have been the meeting that galvanized the team, and then that very same writer is going to turn right back around and say, "Oh, the meeting that changed the Raiders' season." The great meeting that changed, like, bro, it's all like, man, it's all smoke and mirrors. The result
you guys saw last year when homie got fired and how much you guys came together.
I know.
Change is a big motivator for success sometimes. It not always lasts long, but you gotta, grasp it while it's there.
Yeah, man, it's crazy, man. And people say that, and like my man Jamba said, he goes, and the Raiders are a losing team. What's your point? Water's wet, the sky's blue, right? And wasted talent is a bad motherfucker. Those are all things that you can all get behind. And you know what I'm saying? Now listen, right?
Yeah.
Brother, Dante, I appreciate you for pulling up, bro. You always bring a lot of class, a lot of knowledge. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be honest with you. Shedeur Sanders is, a lot of people they're getting caught up in the hype. And I like Shedeur. And I would not be upset if we took Shedeur.
I like Shedeur too. I just don't
like Shedeur. But to me, he's not
a college quarterback.
Look, I think he is. I disagree. I think he's a good college quarterback, but do I think that he is the level of prospect that, like, say for instance, like Joe Burrow was? I don't know. I don't think I see that.
But people are mocking, making him out to be that, and
they're making him out to be that. And I think Shedeur's a guy that
color glasses.
Yes, he can be successful at the next level. He has to go to the right situation. He has to go to the right situation, bro. I can't make it any plainer than that. I don't think Shedeur Sanders is the kind of quarterback that is going to come in and be transformative, and you can put anybody, me, you, him, and him out there, and he's going to be successful. I think Shedeur has to come in. He has to be protected. He has to have weapons, right? And look, and I'm not saying that, I just think what we're looking for as a number one pick, we're looking for that cornerstone pillar as soon as he walks through the door. And that's not what Shedeur is. And I want the Raiders to keep in mind to draft in a way that is advantageous to our growth next year, right? So a Curtis Rourke, a 6'5" guy, a guy that reads defense.
Bring in two quarterbacks. When I mocked with Graf, I said, if you go in there and you get a Tedero McMillan from Arizona, he's as much as a stature of how I feel about him as how I felt about Brock Bowers. He's a generational guy. You got your all-time receiver. Bringing competition between your quarterbacks, and one of them is going to turn out to be great. If it's a Dylan Gabriel, if Drew Allar is there, Will Howard, there's a lot of quarterbacks here that have dealt with adversity. And I think quarterbacks get better because of the transfer portal too.
Yeah.
Because a lot of situations, they're not coming in just as the bona fide starter. Like Will Howard, Ohio State, they didn't announce him as the number one guy until a couple of days before the season started. So I think that's that's what you guys should do. But I'm not. I mean, obviously, I'm not a GM or an NFL scout, but that's just like my opinion. Looking in is like I've always seen teams have success with the competitions inside their positional rooms. Like I'll always preach that. In my opinion, it's okay. You guys could be wrong about Bo Nix.
Yeah,
Bo
look,
Nix has
bro.
been fucking balling.
Listen, bro. You look. I was a big proponent of Bo Nix. He's a Denver Bronco, so I got a shit talking. But I like Bo Nix. I never said Bo Nix is a bum or no shit.
I know. People have been saying that, but they're eating crow really fast every single week. He could have beat the Chiefs this week.
Look, the guy. Listen, the guy played well in college. And I talked about Bo Nix a lot last year. I wouldn't. Me and you talked about it. I told you I wouldn't be mad if we took Bo.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, look, there are a lot of people right now, bro, that would like for us to do a mock draft, right? And I wanted to get out of here. It's almost 8:00. I'm sitting down with my family, you know.
Sanders is better. Stop.
So look, let me ask you a question. Are you up for a mock draft real quick? Drew Law is not going to be anything. What does IMO mean? I'm old.
In my opinion.
Yeah. He just doesn't have much upside. Low ceiling QB. John, you are tweaking, bro. That dude got a rocket arm. He's 6'5". He can move. He has a huge upside. He's nothing but upside. He's the exact definition of upside, Drew Allard. What the F are you talking about?
He's just like a toddler right now. He doesn't know what he doesn't know. And I don't think James Franklin is the coach to let him know what his deficiencies are either. Yeah, but that's just me. Give me 2 seconds. Wait, so I got to call my wife real quick, make sure it's good. But I think we should be good. I'm going to just call her real quick.
But I'll start it, guys. We're going to do a mock draft. If the great East Coast Gritter than Iron is coming back, cool. If not, I will run a mock draft with y'all. Man. We're going to do a mock draft. We got the PFF simulator up in here, y'all. We are in a place right now. The Raiders are on the clock. Mason Graham, Malachi Starks, Austin Genty, Isaiah Bond is in the place, man. Now, who's taking? Travis Hunter's taking number 1, Jalen Moreau, number 2, Will Overton, Abdul Carter, Shador Sanders. So, guys, look, we're going to go, and I'm going to wait for Dante to come back, right? Cameron Ward, Shador Sanders, Nussmeier, Carson Beck, all of these guys are on the board. Drew Allard is on the board. This is, we are waiting for the great and powerful Dante to come back, guys. Get wasted with your brother, wasted, tell a friend to tell a friend. We have gone 90 minutes strong here, man. This is, you guys are getting wasted at a level that we haven't gotten wasted in a long time. Yo, my dog Thor's in a place, man. RaiderNation Drinking Club. Raiders. I'm waiting for Dante, man. And yo, listen, man, we all need permission sometimes for our old lady, bro. You never know what he got going on at home. You never know. So he's going to have us taking Curtis Rourke number 1. Maybe, maybe not. Look, Dante is in the place. I'm going to go back because I got to get this thing moving because, you know, I got my wife on my tail right now, wanting me to get in here and take care of some business here, right? So we got to see who's on the board, right? We're picking 5th. Now, to be honest with you, man, Mason Graham's a beast. Malachi Stark's a beast. So look, Tay, listen, man. We got the 5th pick, bro.
Okay.
All the quarterback talent that's on the board. Cam Ward is available. Shador Sanders, Garrett Nussmeier, Carson Beck, Quinn Ewers.
Miller Moss, is that how I told you all about Miller Moss? That dude just got benched.
Yeah, Miller Moss is trash, right? So what are you doing here? You're the Raiders. You're picking 5. Just like I said, I think the Raiders are going to be picking 5, right? Are you taking a quarterback? Just for the sake of argument, for the chat, you taking a quarterback, or are you going to wait?
I'll do what the Raiders are probably going to do and go Shador Sanders. If he's there, they're going to pick Shador.
All right, Shador Sanders, like your life depended on it. What the F is going on here?
You did 1 round.
I did 1 round. What the F is going on here? All right, guys, that's the mock draft for tonight. You guys have a great. Now let's do a new mock draft, yo. Wait. Edit draft order. We're not editing the draft order. 5 mock simulator. Raiders, right? 5 rounds. Boom. Enter draft. Here we go.
Why is everybody so high on Jackson Dart?
Yeah,
I gotta stop watching the score. That dude only has a deep ball, and they just beat a wounded. Y'all realize that Georgia had like 4 starters out for that game,
Shador
right?
Sanders has been drafted. All right.
Okay.
All right. Now, pick 37. Just took a quarterback, right? Now, listen, Billy Bowman's available. Who you taking here, bro? What are you doing? Are you getting an edge rusher? Are you getting the left tackle? It's the Raiders we're talking about.
Well, you're the Raiders expert. So if I was to go to you and say, what position do you want to go right now? What
I just did was I took a quarterback. We need to improve on the offensive line. I'm probably going to draft either an edge rusher because we did a couple of years ago. I'm going to draft because there's always value in that. But I would take a tackle. I would take a tackle.
All right, let's go to tackles. Let's see who's available because there's a bunch of beasts out here.
Wyatt Miller,
Emory Jones is there. Jonah Savanai is there. I'm really high on Jonas Savanai. He's been really, really good. Without him, I think that Noah Fafita would have been getting killed this year.
Yes.
Emory Jones kind of had a rough week this week. I'm gonna take Jonah right here. I think he's kind of like that Talise Fuaga type tackle, where I think he's just gonna rise up draft boards as people figure that he's a really strong kid.
It's third pick. Now look, this is the thing, right? Quarterback is something we got to get right.
Yeah.
Quarterback is something we got to get right. Now, Drew Allar is still available in this draft, yo.
So you want to go another quarterback?
Look, we talked about it, right? We talked about it. Now our guy is going. Our guy is going.
If I'm y'all, if I'm looking at quarterbacks off this list,
so now we need a running back too. So Kyle Minagi, Caleb Johnson.
I think a good quarterback would be there, but I don't think you should pass up on TreVeyon Henderson. I would go TreVeyon Henderson.
Boom. Yeah. Right. So now Drew Allar is still available in the fourth round. I'm taking him.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm taking Drew Allar. I'm sorry. Now, right? So we got our quarterback. We got 2 quarterbacks. We got a tackle. We got a running back. Now it's best player available, right? Now you got some guards available here. You got a wide receiver. You got some. Let's look at the wide receiver.
Yeah, it's a pretty deep class for wide receivers.
Deion Burks.
Now, what kind of wide receiver do you want? Because I see a bunch of different ones here, and I can talk to you about all of them.
So you run it down for me, right? I have a new quarterback, and I have 2 young quarterbacks, right? And I have a team that is devoid of talent at wide receiver at this point, right? You have decent wide receiver talent, but we're looking for a star, genetic freak wide receiver. Who you take?
If you're talking about genetic freak type of wide receiver, Ricky White produced, Deion Burks produces. Zachary Franklin went from Group of 5 up to Illinois, so he's been good. Samuel Brown, not sure why he's that high. Tej Johnson and Rock Taylor are all good, but if you're talking about freak, is Theo Weiss, like your life depending on it from Missouri. Theo Weiss has probably the best hands in the class.
So Theo Weiss. Now, guys, we got our wide receiver, our running back. We got 2 quarterbacks and a tackle. We went all offense in this draft. They are killing our draft right now. Shador Sanders is a C. Yo, Jonas Sullivan's an F. Dante, what the F you doing? TreVeyon Henderson.
That's because he's ranked.
Drew Allar and Theo Weiss. So we got a C- in this draft. Guys, let me ask you guys a question because we're not allowed to go 7 rounds, right? Let me ask you guys a question, guys. What do you guys think about this draft? What do you think about this draft, y'all? Allar's literally all potential, no production. We'll see come 2 years from now. Pass on.
Name a wide receiver that's at Penn State.
Allar's shaking my head. You damn right. You damn right. I'm taking Drew Allar.
Bro, people are so low on Drew Allar. I mean, I think he needs to come back another year, but Jesus Christ, the dude has no receivers. They suck at recruiting receivers.
Yeah, nah. So y'all give it A-. Some people say he gives it a Z. My opinion said not great. Get the F out of here. The F out of here, my opinion. I'll give you my opinion. Our draft was a B. That's my opinion. Shout out to my opinion, yo. My guy, Assassin's Creed. I hate this draft with the issue that we have.
In my opinion, the link and let him describe these players.
They say my gout is tripping. Yo, get the F out of here. Hondo Carpenter said today's episode that the Raider Scouts are looking at offensive line. I don't give a F what anybody says. This is our show here. Shout out to Hondo. We don't give a F about none of that. East Coast Gritter and I appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, man, appreciate it.
Pull the train back into the station, man. I appreciate you for always bringing value. Y'all going over to East Coast Gridiron, yo. Y'all see his name, right? Go tack on his profile. Going over, subscribe. Some of the greatest draft breakdowns you're going to get. Some of the greatest film breakdowns you're going to get. And I'm telling you, man. And Gene Walker says, stop sleeping on monogamy from Rutgers. That's right. Gene Walker. That's right.
Kyle Manunga. He's all right, man. He's all right.
I can't pronounce the name worth of shit, man. But respect, y'all. Respect. Y'all, I got to get out of here, man. Shout out to all of y'all. I appreciate y'all for staying here with me almost 2 hours, man. This has been a beautiful, beautiful live. This week, when I go live, there's going to be a lot of shorts. We're going to be going live later tonight, later nights. Like I'm going to do a couple late night shows this week because I got a lot going on this week around my normal time slot. But stay tuned, y'all. We will be rocking. We're going to be doing a breakdown of the Miami game. We're going to be doing a lot of shorts on some of these players in the Miami game. Love every single one of y'all. We are going to get out of here, man. And I'm going to tell you something. This draft is about addressing needs. No matter what needs we address, we just want to make sure the people that we draft are people that are here 5 years from now. People that we're giving
to do it, man.
That's how you got to build those building blocks. So it might not be, look, they said we have to get a quarterback. We do, but it doesn't have to be in the first round as far as I'm concerned. A lot of people are saying, you're crazy wasted. But nah, man, it's about the kid being successful, having the players around him, having the coaching staff around him. And if you can get a guy in the second round that is your starter, then I'm 100% on that. Shout out to my guy, My Opinion. Much love to Luke Leakey and the whole chat, bro. We are out of here. Oh, yes. You know what I've been forgetting to do, y'all?
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
When you got East Coast Gritter to the nine and you got Wasted Talent on the screen, the price goes through the effing roof every single time. Y'all have a great night, man. Get out of here, y'all.